Hereby call 14 days segregation to Congress will be from the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bill Alfonso.
Amen.
Sir Christian. Sir Glenn. Sir Conman. Vice Romo. Senator Rosaman. Senator Wayne. Speaker Moses. To speak 10%.
Comes to transact business.
Speaker, that is being of the journal. I 4.
I move this. It's moved into Congress. Bench. Discussion. Those in favor of this motion say aye. Carry. Congress now dispense a reading of the journal. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is in presidential communications under.
Continue.
Item 6 is Supreme Communication. Item 7 member commissions. We do not have any other department communications. We are in resolve and it's that 28.
Members take note. Decide.
Thanks, sir. Government authority communication. None, sir. State communications for item. As of now, we do have it. Item 11 state communication. And also on the solid communications. Do not have Mr. Speaker. For government communications and also Mr. Speaker. In communications. None, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the means, the copy reports have now have paper number 2336 on national bill number 20. Your copy on Jin Gorgon.
Move for the stand committee results.
Second.
Then second stop stand committee report number 23-36.
Question.
Motion is closed. We'll vote and send motion to report number 23. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Standing report 23. This is adopted by Congress. Persist. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are waiting list number 20-9 for stand completed 4 hours requirement. Item 16, special committee reports, as I do not have, Mr. Speaker. 17, assignment of measures, communications, referral 33-24.
Members, and note of the assignment measures.
Unfinished business, item 18, none, Mr.
Next item.
Thank you, Mr. 19, bill calendar. The first one is on Congressional Bill number 3, CD1 for first reading. Listen to State Report number 23-30 adopted into your part session this morning. 23C1, 1, Section 2 of Blue Law number 50. To increase the term is for Tempo, to increase the number of assembly on Tempo from 2 to 3, contingent under ratification. 3, amend and its subsidiary Congress and approval of same. States Amendment Section 3 of Public Law number 15, amended by Public Laws numbers 20-186 to increase representatives serving on joint trust from 3 years to increase representatives serving on the joint trust 3 contingent on the ratification 3 amended compact and its subsidiary the CFSM Congress approval of the same and for other purposes.
Purchase.
Move Congress Bill 22-23.
And second, moved and seconded that CB 23. Passion.
Speaker,
Chairman Figueroa.
I move to defer action of the bill calendar.
It's been moved that Congress defer action on CB number 23-1 to the end of today's calendar. If no objection, we'll vote. All those in favor of the all opposed, say nay. Motion now deferred is action on CB number 23. That means the end of the calendar. Discussion, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, now is Congressional Bill number 23-18 by reading CB number 20-2. 208 of Title 52 of Code of Indonesia, annotated as amended by 18-14 to reduce the and to further amend Chapter 2 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia, amended by laws numbers 18-1-143 to 2-1 and Section 213 in order to require to pay 100% of life insurance banks government employees to authorize personnel to designate and change the designation provider in consultation with the Department of Finance to require the Office of Personnel and Department of Administration to jointly report to Congress and change designated life insurance provider, biennial reporting on the designated life insurance provider.
Chairman, officers.
Move to pass Congress Bill on second and final read.
Mr. Speaker, second.
Moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading 20-18. Discussion.
Mr.
Yeah, floor.
I have a question that I thought was answered. This insurance compulsory every national government employee?
Chairman Martin. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Move to first on set tomorrow.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress defer CB number 23-18 to bill under session. No vote. Those in 18. Motion carried. CB number 23-18 has been deferred to tomorrow's calendar. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill Number 23-37, CD1 for second and final reading. CB Number 23-37, CD1 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law Number 22-180 as amended by Public Laws Numbers 22-187, 22-188, 23-01, 23-03, 23-09, and 23-11 by amending Sections 4 and 5 thereof for the purpose of changing the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Pohnpei and Chuk states and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
It's been moved and seconded
Speaker.
that
Oh, sorry.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 23-37, CD1. Discussion. Madam Chair, you have
Speaker, yes, may I offer a floor amendment to CB number 23-37, CD1, copies of which have been circulated to the members. Specifically, it's on page 2, number 9. I so move.
It's been moved and seconded that the offered floor amendment to CB number 23-37, CD1, offered by Madam Chair Abelio Alfonso, be adopted. Discussion. And please note, because of its length, we will dispense with the reading of the offered floor amendment. Discussion.
Question.
No objection. Question has been called for. We will now vote on the offered floor amendment to CB number 23-37, CD1, offered by Madam Chair Abelio Alfonso. All those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. The floor amendment to CB number 23-37, CD1, offered by Madam Chair Abelio Alfonso, has now been adopted. We now have CD2. Discussion.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Christian, you have the floor.
I also have an amendment that I would wish to offer, and my amendment is for page 1, beginning on line 10, ending line 12. Delete all of the language of line 10 to 12 and insert the following. Kamar 2 Lipor Road repair and maintenance. The amount remains the same at line 12. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Any second? It's been moved and seconded that the offered oral amendment to CB number 23-37 CD2 be adopted, offered by Chairman Christian. Discussion? Any discussion?
Question.
If no further discussion, question has been called for. We will now vote on the offered floor amendment by Chairman Christian to CB number 23-37 CD2. All those in favor of the said amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. The offered floor amendment to CB number 23-37 CD2, offered by Chairman Christian, has now been adopted. We now have CD3. Discussion. Further discussion?
Question, Speaker,
Vice Speaker, you have the floor.
move to defer on this bill to tomorrow's session.
Any second? It's been moved and seconded that Congress defer its action on CB number 23-37 CD3. If no objection, we will vote. All those in favor of the said motion, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. CB number 23-37 CD3 has now been deferred to tomorrow's calendar. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 23-44 CD1 for second and final reading. CB number 23-44 CD1 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 20-155 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-177, 20-188, 21-61, 21-88, 21-119, 21-150, 22-08, 22-43, and 22-119 by amending sections 2 and 6 thereof for the purpose of changing the use and allotment of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, state, and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of Congress Bill number 23-44 on second and final reading.
Short recess.
Short recess. In session,
Speaker,
Vice Speaker Romulo.
move to defer action on the said bill to tomorrow's calendar.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress defer its action on CB number 23-44 CD1. Discussion? No discussion. We will vote on the said motion for deferment of CB number 23-44 CD1 to tomorrow's calendar. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried. CB number 23-44 has been deferred to tomorrow's calendar. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Speaker,
Vice Speaker.
if I'm not out of order, I would make a motion to defer all the second readings to tomorrow's calendar.
It's been moved and seconded. Short recess. Congress is back in session. Vice Speaker Romulo, please restate your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I make a motion to defer action on the second reading bills to tomorrow's calendar, but CP number 23-39 be placed on the first of the bill for tomorrow's agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the motion by Vice Speaker Romulo be adopted. That is to defer the remaining second reading bills to tomorrow's calendar, but to make sure to place CB number 23-39 on the beginning of the calendar for tomorrow. CD2. Any discussion? If none, we will vote on the said motion. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried. All the bills have been deferred to tomorrow's calendar with the inclusion of CB number 23-39 CD2 to be at the beginning of tomorrow's bill calendar. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Speaker,
Chairman Figueroa.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Bill number 23-44 on the bill calendar for action.
Short recess.
Short recess. Congress is back in session. Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw the motion that I made earlier.
If no objection, the motion is withdrawn. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're now back on Congressional Bill number 23-23 CD1 for first reading. Again, please note that this is attached to Standing Committee Report number 23-36.
Chairman Artos.
So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any second? It's been moved-
Second, Mr. Speaker, but I'm lost.
Okay, CB number,
What am I seconding?
first reading for CB number 23-23.
23, 20, oh,
It was deferred to the end of the calendar.
oh, okay. Thank you.
There is that motion, and it was seconded to pass on first reading, CB number 23-23. Discussion?
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess. We are still on discussion of CB number 23-23 CD1.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Artos, you have the floor.
I move to defer action on the said bill to tomorrow's calendar.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress defer its action on CB number 23-23 CD1. Discussion? No objection, we will vote on the said motion. All those in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. CB number 23-23 CD1 is now deferred to tomorrow's bill calendar. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any more bills.
State your point, Chairman Christian.
Thank you very much. You know, we've always no, I said no milk, just coffee and sugar. Yeah, thank you. Give it to Urusma, he likes milk. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I was interrupted by my coffee. But this is a Christian nation, and we know that, we've always said that, but I think we are a very, very liberal Christian country. And so today I'd like to say that today is Yom Kippur. I don't know if the pronunciation is right, but it is the holiest day in Judaism and Samaritanism, a day of atonement, and where Jews seek to expiate their sins and achieve reconciliation with their God. Let us join them in this celebration, at least in our minds today, and congratulate them on this holy occasion. Mr. Speaker, I preface that just to garner some of your interest, but you know, I am not a learned man as education goes, but I feel that sometimes the Holy Spirit humor me with patches of good grace to support me in my work, especially in my work as the representative of a small constituency, and even as a one-time head of our nation. If I could, I would shake hands with the Holy Spirit and say, thank you for being kind to me. And in those moments, Mr. Speaker, there are times in my life and in my public life that I remember and every so often return to say thanksgiving for. One of them was when I traveled to Honiara, Solomon Islands, on the occasion of the closing of Ramsey. Ramsey, as you remember, it is the regional effort to help calm the Solomon Islanders among themselves so that peace may return to the Solomons. I was there with two hats, one as the president of FSM, but also as the chairman of Pacific Island Forum. While there, I had the humble opportunity to represent the group at the closing of the ceremonies in Solomon Islands. Picture, if you please, a football field filled with people and the whole Solomon Island police force in attendance and the Solomon Islands police band playing. And picture yourself looking around to the hills beyond the football field and see all the people up there. Some of them there because they understood what was going on. Some of them there simply because it's the thing that's happening that day. But on that occasion, I was given the opportunity to say a few words on the closing. And Mr. Speaker and members, please pardon me for wanting to do this, but I want to read to you what statement I was inspired to give, because that was a representation of FSM's position, not just mine. And it was in the afternoon, so I started by saying, this afternoon, we must resolve to wash away the sour sweats of pain with our own tears of joy. That, at the least, we owe to those who served our needs. those living, and mostly to those no longer with us, that they should not have died in vain. The good book instructs us that for every occasion there's a proper time, a time to cry, and we have cried, a time to rejoice, and we rejoice today, a time to fight, and we have fought, and a time to make peace, and we have peace today. Today, good people of the Solomon Islands, listen with me and feel with me. There is a fine spirit in the air that must not be disturbed by mortal speech. But I am asked to speak, and I ask you for your forgiveness. Good people of Solomon, embrace that spirit, and let us embrace that spirit and give it body. Like the land that needs rain, so the spirit needs a strong body. For when free spirit and a strong body are well together, they spring a strong, loyal soul. Embrace that soul and become the cleft that gives it home and everlasting comfort. It is sad that from a painful conflict we have come to congratulate ourselves. But that is the way of man. In our effort to rationalize our weakness, we say that we err because we are human. A champion boxer whose name I have forgotten, but whose words light part of my walk through life, he said, "Ain't nothing wrong with falling down. It's not getting back up that's wrong. What is worse than doing something wrong is not doing something to right the wrong." Ladies and gentlemen, up to this moment in our exercise of responsibility, I believe we have done all we can under the allowed circumstances. And now, as we stretch our imagination to speculate on what may lie ahead, let us not forget to look back to where we have come from. People of the Solomons, embrace the soul of your beloved nation. Become the cleft that protect the nation. Finally, I would like to invoke the words of a man who at one time in his life was a resident. I am sure you will recognize who that words when he said, "Ask not what we can do for you, ask together we can do for our country." And I said thank you to the crowd from that field. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and members for indulging me. But I thought that, having heard some of us being very disappointed with our neighboring country, that it must be shown that we do have a good relationship with the Solomon Islands and all countries in the South whose ideologies of government may not be the same as ours. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move that we go to resolution calendar.
Thank you, Chairman Christian. It's always pleasing to listen when you speak. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is item 20, resolution calendar. As of now, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Artus.
I move to withdraw and place Congress Resolution 23-70 and 23-71 and place onto this calendar for action.
Okay. Any seconds?
5 sec.
Short recess. Chairman Artus, you have the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Resolution 23-71.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass CR number 23-71. Floor Leader Lawrence, motion for,
Move to suspend any relevant rule that may impede our actions on the placement of the said bill.
it's been moved and seconded that Congress suspend the rules that may impede our action on the placement of CR number 23-71. Any objection? If none, we will vote. All those in favor of this motion say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried. The rules are now suspended. Discussion on CR number 23-71. Any discussion? If none, and no objection, debate is now closed. We will vote on the said motion. All those in favor of adoption of CR number 23-71, say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried. CR number 23-71 has now been adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any more resolutions.
Chairman Artus, did you have another
No, not
resolution?
today for this one. Next.
Tomorrow? Okay. So next,
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. If I may, I'd like to attempt placing a resolution on today's resolution calendar for action.
go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Congress, I move to withdraw and place on today's resolution calendar CR number 23-79. So move.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress place CR number 23-79. Discussion? Short recess. This is back in session. We're still on discussion of CR number 23-79, or on the placement of CR number 23-79. Discussion? If none, we will vote on the placement of CR number 23-79. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried. CR number 23-79 is now placed on today's calendar for action. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 23-79 for adoption. CR number 23-79 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount from the United States Department of Education, Department of Education, Division of Special Service and Conditions of the Assistance.
Mr. Speaker.
It's been moved and seconded that 79 be adopted by Congress. It's been moved and seconded that the debate be closed. We will now vote. Debate is now closed. We will now vote on the adoption. All in favor, say aye. All. Motion carried. Congress is now adopted as 79. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We do not have more resolutions.
Next item.
Reduction of bills and resolutions, Mr. Speaker.
Have been introduced. Please pass them forward to the Chief Clerk. Next.
22, miscellaneous business, Speaker.
I'll be entertaining any miscellaneous business members. We have a urgent matter to adopt the credentials coverage report. Now, the members had to leave us and attend to Because of its urgency, I now am going to appoint a replacement for, and that would be Chairman Artus as a replacement, and the committee can meet if possible, and then we need to report whenever it's signed, Credentials Committee, to be presented to this body so that, as you know, we're now at 10. However, they're all presenting to this body for debate or disapproval. So, miscellaneous business. Any miscellaneous business? If none, Chief Clerk, next item.
That is item 23, announcements.
Speaker, an announcement. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Speaker, I have no announcement at the moment.
Thank you, Speaker. No announcement.
Chairman Christian.
Join the others, Mr. Speaker.
Madam Chair,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have
Speaker Mulo, announcement.
No announcement, Speaker.
Floor here, announcement, and sorry.
I move that Congress until tomorrow morning at 10.
Seconded that Congress stand in reason. If not, we will vote and said motion aye. All opposed say nay. Congress stands in reason until 10 a.m. tomorrow.